Impact Wrestling results, the 26th of January 2023, Moose vs Eddie Edwards vs Sami, Callihan vs Rich Swann vs Rhino vs Chris Sabin. First match, Trey Miguel, C, vs Mike Jackson for the Impact X Division Championship. Collar and elbow tie up. Miguel with a wrist lock takeover. Strong lock up. Wrist lock exchange. Jackson applies a side headlock. Miguel whips Jackson across the ring. Jackson drops Miguel with two shoulder tackles for a 1 count. Jackson with a hip toss. Miguel goes into the lateral press for a 2 count. Leg sweep exchange. That leads us to a quick shoving contest. Miguel wants Jackson to shake his hand. Miguel slaps Jackson in the face. Miguel transitions into a ground and pound attack. Miguel brings Jackson down to the mat. Miguel works on his joint manipulation game. Miguel applies a hammerlock. Miguel body slams Jackson. Jackson avoids the springboard moonsault. Jackson with 2 elbow knockdowns. Jackson with 2 clotheslines. Jackson with a neck breaker. Jackson unloads a flurry of left jabs. Miguel ducks a clothesline from Jackson. Miguel with the atomic drop. Miguel dumps Jackson out of the ring. Jackson avoids the slingshot pescado. Miguel decks Jackson with a back elbow smash. Miguel inadvertently clotheslines the steel ring post. Jackson with 2 haymakers. Jackson rolls Miguel back into the ring. Jackson drops Miguel with the divorce court. Jackson hammers down on the left shoulder of Miguel. Miguel blocks the old school. Miguel delivers his combination offense. Miguel with a double foot stomp. Miguel with the scorpion kick. Miguel connects with the lightning spiral to pick up the victory. After the match, Miguel runs away from the decay. Winner, still Impact X Division Champion, Trey Miguel via pinfall. Second match, Kushida and Kevin Knight vs the Good Hands. Kevin Knight and John Skyler will start things off. Collar and elbow tie up. Skyler applies a side headlock. Wrist lock exchange. Knight applies an arm bar. Kushida and Knight works on the left wrist of Skyler. Stereo knee drops. Skyler regroups on the outside. Kushida runs after Skyler. Skyler tags in Hotch. Hotch attacks Kushida from behind. Hotch repeatedly stomps on Kushida's chest. Hotch transitions into a ground and pound attack. Hotch stomps on Kushida's chest. Hotch drives Kushida back first into the turnbuckles. Skyler tags himself in. Skyler knocks Knight off the ring apron. Skyler with a rising boot. Roll through German suplex, jackknife hold combination for a 2 count. Skyler tags in Hotch. Double Irish whip. Kushida with a handspring double back elbow smash. Kushida tags in Knight. Knight with 2 corner clotheslines. Knight with a stinger splash. Knight sidesteps Hotch into Skyler. Knight with a double stinger splash. Knight body slams Skyler. Hotch kicks Knight in the gut. Kushida made the blind tag. Knight reverses out of the Irish whip from Hotch. Knight drops down on the canvas. Knight drop kicks Hotch. Knight pops back on his feet. Skyler scores 2 body shots. Kushida reverses out of the Irish whip from Skyler. Kushida with a hip toss. Kushida with a cartwheel dropkick. Knight dropkicks Hotch off Kushida's shoulders. Knight with the slingshot pescado. Kushida makes Hotch tap out to the hoverboard lock. Winner, Kushida and Kevin Knight via submission. Third match, the Death Dolls, C.W., Rosemary vs Giselle Shaw and Tara W. J.I. Vidal for the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. Taya Valkyrie and Tara will start things off. Shaw tags herself in. Standing switch exchange. Valkyrie sends Shaw to the corner. Valkyrie with a running hip attack. Valkyrie tags in Havoc. Valkyrie with a hip smash. Valkyrie with a corner meteora. Havoc hooks the outside leg for a 1 count. Havoc ducks a clothesline from Shaw. Havoc kicks Shaw in the gut. Havoc kicks the left hamstring of Shaw. Havoc with a roundhouse kick. Havoc goes for a running leg drop, but Shaw ducks out of the way. Shaw super kicks Havoc for a 2 count. Shaw transitions into a ground and pound attack. Shaw kicks Havoc in the ribs. Shaw with 3 running uppercuts for a 2 count. Shaw gets flustered by the Tara chants. Havoc with a corkscrew uppercut. Havoc tags in Valkyrie. Valkyrie ducks a clothesline from Shaw. Valkyrie thrust kicks the midsection of Shaw. Valkyrie with a knee lift. Valkyrie with a teep kick. Valkyrie clotheslines Shaw. Shaw reverses out of the Irish whip from Valkyrie. Vidal trips Valkyrie from the outside. Rosemary spears Vidal on the floor. Shaw taunts Tara. Shaw hits the spider web for a 2 count. Shaw rolls Valkyrie over for a 2 count. Shaw refuses to tag in Tara. Shaw talks smack to Tara. Shaw pie faces Tara. Tara kicks Shaw in the gut. Tara connects with the widow's beak. Tara walks off on Shaw. Valkyrie tags in Havoc. The Death Dolls plants Shaw with their running boot, sick driver combination to pick up the victory. Winner, Still Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Death Dolls via pinfall. Taylor Wilde vignette. 4th match, Ace Austin and Chris Bay vs the major players. Chris Bay and Matt Cardona will start things off. Collar and elbow tie up. Cardona backs Bay into the turnbuckles. Bay ducks a clothesline from Cardona. Bay teases a punch. Bay decides to sweep the forehead of Cardona. Bay blocks a boot from Cardona. Bay applies a side headlock. Cardona whips Bay across the ring. Bay runs into Cardona. Bay ducks another clothesline from Cardona. Bay with a flying forearm smash. Bay with a deep-armed drag. Cardona launches Bay over the top rope. Bay with a forearm smash. Bay buries his shoulder into the midsection of Cardona. Bay with a slingshot armed drag. Bay applies an arm bar. Bay tags in Austin. Austin kicks Cardona in the gut. Double Irish whip. Austin with a roundhouse kick. Bay with a leaping uppercut. Austin with a drop toe hold. Austin kicks Cardona in the back. Bay with a double foot stomp. Cardona tags in Myers. Austin ducks a clothesline from Myers. Double leg sweep. Standing moonsault, leg drop combination. Austin with a slingshot pescado. Austin rolls Myers back into the ring. Austin with a forearm smash. Austin gets distracted by Cardona. Myers drives Austin shoulder first into the top rope. Myers tags in Cardona. Cardona with a running clothesline. Cardona rolls Austin back into the ring. Cardona with a running knee strike. Cardona tags in Myers. Myers stomps on the midsection of Austin. Myers drives his knee into the midsection of Austin. Myers slams Austin's head on the left boot of Cardona. Myers tags in Cardona. Following a snapmare takeover, Cardona with a knee drop for a 2 count. Cardona toys around with Austin. Cardona uses the middle rope to choke Austin. Austin sends Cardona face first into the left boot of Myers. Cardona tags in Myers. Myers stops Austin in his tracks. Myers drives his knee into Austin's back. Myers applies a front face lock. Myers punches Austin in the back. Myers taunts Bay. Austin with a spinning heel kick. Bay and Cardona are tagged in. Bay punches Cardona. Bay with Muay Thai knee strikes. Bay with a discus back elbow. Cardona reverses out of the Irish whip from Bay. Bay with a leaping clothesline. Bay with a springboard dropkick to Myers. Bay follows that with a leaping uppercut. Bay with an apron enziguri. Bay with a flying clothesline for a 2 count. Myers wisely pulls Austin off the apron. Bay runs after Myers. Cardona with an inside-out lariat. Cardona delivers the reboot. Cardona tags in Myers. Myers with the flying elbow drop for a 2 count. Myers tags in Cardona. Bay fights out of the fireman's carry position. Bay shoves Cardona into Myers. Bay with a flying forearm smash. Bay tags in Austin. Austin with a leaping Frankensteiner. Cardona blocks the 1,2, sweet. Standing switch exchange. Austin sidesteps Cardona into the turnbuckles. Bay with a knee smash. Austin with a springboard windmill kick. Austin connects with the jackknife hold to pick up the victory. Winner, Ace Austin and Chris Bay via pinfall. Fifth match, Jonathan Gresham vs Sheldon Jean. Collar and elbow tie up. Jean backs Gresham into the ropes. Jean taunts Gresham. Gresham with a drop toe hold. Gresham applies a side headlock. Gresham with 3 side headlock takeovers. Gresham dodges the pump kick. Jean with a running forearm smash. Gresham trips Jean. Gresham applies a single leg crab. Jean grabs the bottom rope which forces the break. Jean rakes the eyes of Gresham. Jean with a spinning back kick. Jean with a knee lift. Gresham ducks a clothesline from Jean. Gresham drop kicks the left knee of Jean. Jean kicks Gresham in the face. Gresham headbutts the midsection of Jean. Jean answers with a pump kick. Gresham with another side headlock takeover. Jean answers with the head scissors escape. Gresham hyperextends the left knee of Jean. Gresham connects with the sliding forearm to pick up the victory. Winner, Jonathan Gresham via pinfall. Sixth match, Moose vs Eddie Edwards vs Sami Callihan vs Rich Swann vs Rhino vs Chris Sabin in the Golden 6-shooter match. The winner will battle Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship at No Surrender. A Pier 6 brawl ensues after the bell rings. Meeting of the minds. Rhino bumps into Moose. Shoulder block exchange. Moose rakes the eyes of Rhino. Rhino clotheslines Moose. Sabin with 2 short arm lariats. Sabin ducks a clothesline from Rhino. Sabin with a leaping shoulder tack. Sabin with a running boot to Callihan. Callihan tells Sabin to bring it. Sabin obliges with 2 forearms. Sabin with a spinning back kick. Callihan with the exploder suplex. Callihan punches Sabin. Sabin kicks Callihan in the face. Sabin blasts Moose with the park forearm exchange. Sabin slams Callihan's head on the top turnbuckle pad. Sabin sidesteps Callihan into the turnbuckles. Sabin with a slingshot pescado. Callihan kicks Swann in the gut. Callihan whips Swann across the ring. Swann cartwheels over Callihan. Swann dropkicks Callihan to the floor. Edwards attacks Swann from behind. Edward whips Swann across the ring. Swann ducks a clothesline from Edwards. Swann with a head scissors takeover. Swann with a cannonball senton off the ring apron. Swann rolls Edwards back into the ring. Edwards reverses out of the Irish whip from Swann. Edwards blocks the handspring cutter. Edwards with the Blue Thunder Bomb. Sabin with a missile dropkick. Callihan follows that with the TKO. Rhino decks Callihan with a back elbow smash. Rhino unloads a series of knife-edge chops. Rhino with 3 mini gauze. Rhino headbutts Callihan. Moose ducks a clothesline from Rhino. Moose spears Rhino. Callihan super kicks Moose. Callihan hooks the outside leg to score the first pinfall of this match. Rhino has been eliminated. Moose attacks Callihan from behind. Moose chops Sabin. Moose with a running uppercut to Swann. Sabin kicks Moose in the face. Sabin ascends to the top turnbuckle. Moose with a straight right hand. Moose puts Swann against Sabin. Moose with a double dropkick. Moose with a Uranage slam to Edwards. Sabin with a spinning back kick. Sabin drops Moose with the Tornado DDT for a 2 count. Callihan chops Sabin. Callihan sends Sabin to the corner. Sabin dives over Callihan. Sabin sidesteps Edwards into Callihan. Sabin with a dropkick, Tornado DDT combination. Callihan kicks out the legs of Sabin. Callihan sidesteps Swann into Sabin. Assisted stunner. Callihan super kicks Swann. Callihan takes a bow. Swann punches Callihan. Swann with a corner clothesline. Swann with a running bulldog, clothesline combination. Swann follows that with the frog splash for a 2 count. Edwards has Swann perched on the top turnbuckle. Swann is throwing haymakers at Edwards. Edwards with a step-up enzui-giri. Edwards goes for the backpack stunner, but Swann lands back on his feet. Edwards decks Swann with a back elbow smash. Edwards whips Swann across the ring. Swann holds onto the ropes. Swann kicks Edwards in the chest. Edwards answers with a knife-edge chop. Edwards with a spinning slam to Sabin. Edwards power bombs Swann on top of Sabin for a 2 count. Sabin ducks under a forearm from Edwards. Sabin with a backslide cover for a 2 count. Sabin with a back elbow smash. Edwards sends Sabin chest first into the canvas. Edwards hits the tiger driver for a 2 count. Edwards gets distracted by PCO. Sabin with the hell of a kick. Sabin puts Edwards away with the inside cradle. Eddie Edwards has been eliminated. Moose with a running boot. Moose chops Sabin. Moose stomps on Sabin's face. Moose whips Sabin into the turnbuckles. Moose with a knee smash. Sabin stomps on the right foot of Moose. Sabin with forearm shivers. Moose with the Uranage slam for a 2 count. Moose is raining down haymakers. Sabin dodges the running uppercut. Sabin with a running enzui-giri. Moose blocks the tornado DDT. Moose spears Sabin. Chris Sabin has been eliminated. Swann kicks Moose in the back of the head. Callihan kicks Swann in the gut. Short arm reversal by Swann. Both men are knocked down after a double clothesline. Slugfist in Atlanta. Headbutt exchange. Swann with a flurry of strikes. Swann super kicks Callihan. Swann ducks a clothesline from Moose. Swann super kicks Moose. Swann drops Callihan with the handspring cutter. Callihan exits the ring. Moose kicks out the legs of Swann. Moose repeatedly slams the right knee of Swann. Moose wraps the right leg of Swann around the middle rope. Moose kicks the right knee of Swann. Swann with heavy body shots. Moose blocks a boot from Swann. Moose with the dragon screw leg whip. Moose hammers down on the right knee of Swann. Moose applies the single leg crab. Swann grabs the bottom rope which forces the break. Moose drives Swann knee first into the canvas. Moose talks smack to Swann. Swann rolls Moose over to score the next elimination. Moose has been eliminated. The Design make their way to the ringside area. Dina tells Callihan to take Swann out. Callihan attacks the right leg of Swann. Callihan applies the stretch muffler. Swann rolls Callihan over for a 2 count. Swann with clubbing tomahawk sledges. Callihan kicks the left knee of Swann. Callihan power bombs Swann for a 2 count. Callihan applies the ankle lock. Swann refuses to quit. Swann with a scorpion kick. Swann delivers his combination offense. Swann with a roundhouse kick. Swann drops Callihan with the spinning heel kick. Swann connects with the 450 splash to pick up the victory. After the match, the Design viciously attacks Swann. Josh Alexander, Frankie Kazarian and Yuya Uemura storms into the ring to make the save. Winner, Rich Swann via pinfall.